Now, with many family members, both adult and children, spending more time at home, it's important to make sure everyone is getting the proper nutrition. And joining us live tonight via Skype to talk about that is Dr. Michelle Lee. She's a registered dietitian and associate professor in nutrition at East Tennessee State University. Dr. Lee, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Oh, you're welcome.
Okay, so a lot of families, and most families, are having more meals at home, probably more than what they're used to, which can be a good thing. But what is your concern for those families when it comes to getting some proper nutrition?
Yes, you're right. With social distancing and restaurants being closed or now opening at 50%, we're having to cook more, we're having to prepare more meals at home. My biggest concern is that we might see some weight gain, but also people don't understand what a healthy meal is. And we tend to be bored or stressed during these times, and so when we do tend to eat more, so that can lead to unwanted weight gain. We also tend to look for our comfort foods, and comfort foods tend to be higher in fat and calories. So this is really a perfect time to experiment in the kitchen and make some small changes in your comfort foods to try to make them healthier. And also watch our portion sizes. We need to be aware of that and not be eating a whole bag of chips, but rather checking out how much we're eating and what we are eating.
That is true, and if we're eating because we're hungry or because we are bored, we have talked about that in our family when we go to the kitchen, like, okay, am I really hungry or am I just bored and finding something to do? Now, when people are making their meals at home, what are one or two of the most important things that they need to make sure they're getting into their meals during this time?
Well, according to the dietary guidelines for Americans, we should be selecting at least one of the foods from each of the 5 food groups, and that's our fruits, vegetables, grains, sometimes called starches, proteins, and dairy. And I am a firm believer that we do not consume enough fruits and vegetables in this country, and so if we would start looking for some of that fresh produce that's coming out now. Farmers markets are starting to open. The grocery store, the produce sections are full of fresh fruits and vegetables, but if you can't find any or have limits, then go to the frozen food section and find some of the steamer vegetables. And those are quick and easy, and if they're plain where they don't have butter and sauce all over them, then they're a healthier choice, and then you can add your own seasonings to it to give it more flavor. So those are the things that I would recommend focusing on, is fresh fruits and vegetables and a well-rounded plate of the different food groups.
Are there any resources out there to help in this effort to make sure our families are eating right?
There is. We have the eatright.org, which is an organization that provides information by registered dietitians. Is for people that want to eat healthier. It has recipes and videos. And there's also myplate.gov. That focuses entirely on healthy eating for children and adults, and it also includes physical activity recommendations. And then, of course, there's blogs and videos by registered dietitians. There's videos on YouTube, as well as the food and cooking channels. It's a great time to learn a new skill in the kitchen and to include your family in that process. And so hopefully that will encourage everyone to become more aware of what you're eating and how much you're eating.
I think that's so important to start the awareness of what we're eating at a young age. What is your opinion? How important do you think it is for even children, no matter what their age, to get involved in meal planning and having some sort of responsibility into planning or making a family meal?
Oh, I think it's very important. If you start them out young, then they're going to be more interested in the food, and they might also expand their variety of foods that they'll try. If they can see where a food was grown or if they're in the grocery store with you and they can help pick out something that they think might be interesting, and then when you get home they can help you cook and prepare it, of course according to the skills. You know, you don't want them playing with knives if they shouldn't be, but again, there are lots of things that you can do with your children to get them involved. They can mix, they can stir, and that will help them become more aware of their habits, eating habits, and hopefully lead to healthier diets or healthier eating patterns.
All right, one more question before we let you go.
Okay.
Do you think the whole eating at home more during the pandemic, do you think this is going to change family habits going out once the pandemic, whenever that is going to be, whenever that's over and we start going out more? Do you think this is going to change us at all as families?
I hope so. That is really one of my concerns, is that we were eating out too much, and when we do eat out, it is higher in calories, it's higher in fat, and you can still eat out and have healthier foods, but again, we just need to be more aware. So it is my my hope that they will continue this habit, because it takes 28 days to start a new habit, and maybe this will be a new habit that a family will take on, and they'll try to eat at home more often than eating out.
Definitely a good thing we can take from this pandemic. Dr. Michelle Lee, registered dietitian and associate professor of nutrition at ETSU, thank you so much for joining us. Some really good advice tonight.
Okay, thank you.